Okay, hello. We are back in the kitchen today and we are bringing you some ideas to use your fresh herbs. We're also going to use some of our abundance from our gardens in the summer. I know you all probably are overloaded with tomatoes, so we're going to make use of that with our fresh herbs. This is one of my go-to things when I have company, especially unexpected company, because it really requires no cooking and it uses what you have from your yard. So I brought in some of my fresh sage. And if you're going to be outside dining al fresco, which means out in the open air, you can take your sage, if you have grilled or if you have a fire pit going, you can take your fresh sage and lay it on top of the fire pit to the side and let it kind of smolder, and it will repel the bugs for you. So there are so many uses for our fresh herbs that aren't even necessarily eating, and sometimes you don't know what to do with your sage because you're waiting for November and all of the fall recipes that you make that include sage. So what we're going to do is something called a caprese salad, and it's a fresh tomato salad. And what I've done is these are actually, some of these are from my yard and some of them are from the garden outside at the library. And what I did this past weekend is we went to the local farmers market, which on Saturday mornings meets at Hometown Pizza on Highway 227 if you're interested. And I got some nice heirloom tomatoes to make our caprese salad. So I'm going to cut out the core of my tomato first with a smaller knife. I'm going to set that aside. Take my big knife and I'm going to slice some nice slices out of this juicy tomato here. Doesn't that look delicious? Nice and juicy. And so you're going to put your slices on a platter like this. And you can cut them in half. I just hate to do that to this wonderful, big, nice tomato. You can also make it with your smaller Roma tomatoes and slice them up. Again, I'm going to cut the core out of my tomato. Make nice slices again. And we'll lay them on the platter. And this is really a pretty dish to take outside for entertaining. I'm going to kind of prop up these other slices with these pieces right here. And then you're going to take some, and it's fresh mozzarella, and I like to buy the kind that's already sliced. It just makes it throw together faster for you. So I'm going to pull some of the slices out. And I'm going to layer them in between my tomato slices. And I've left room on my platter because I'm going to show you how to make some skewers out of this if you want finger foods with it. You're just kind of layering and making it. You may have to rearrange your tomatoes as they slide around on the plate since it's so nice and juicy. Okay, so we're going to take and add fresh basil to this. And what I like to do, I like to stack the leaves, and I use larger leaves, and I like to roll them up. So you're going to roll them up tight, and then you're going to take your knife, and you're just going to cut little tiny strips, slices along that rolled up basil. And it's going to make nice little strips that scatter easily and make your tomato slices. See how it makes nice long strips on there. And I've left this area open for our kebabs. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take some extra virgin olive oil, And you're just going to drizzle it across there. It has a really pretty yellow look against the red tomato and the green basil. And then I like to use a glaze because it doesn't run and lay underneath the tomatoes. It stays nice when you're trying to stripe it across there, like that. It just kind of stays nicer. And then we're going to add some salt, and I use sea salt. And we're going to do some freshly ground pepper. Okay, now the next thing you can do, they also have this fresh mozzarella in these little pearls. And you can buy that and take a pearl from the little cluster here, and you're going to put it on your skewer. And these are from our library garden. We're sharing those at the circulation desk for anyone who wants fresh little tomatoes, and we've had lots of happy responses with that. I'm going to take them, and you're going to take a basil leaf, and I kind of like to fold it in half and stick it on there. Another pearl, another basil leaf. You can layer this however you want. And you're going to do the same thing with drizzling your olive oil and your glaze, balsamic glaze. Okay, and I also like to put fresh bread out, which you can pull a piece off, and I'm going to show you how to make a dipping sauce. And what I have is some of my fresh dried herbs from my garden, and I just scatter it in the dish, whatever dish you want. I happen to have a dish that has ridges. It's a pottery dish, and I take fresh garlic and I rub it across the ridges like that with the herbs in there, and it's going to flavor our oil. And then I pour some oil in the dish. You can leave your garlic until you're ready to serve, so that it kind of also adds some more flavor to that oil. We've got our fresh herbs in there, and there's your dip for your bread. Which is really delicious. And I've also laid out, what I like to share with this is a charcuterie board, which is really popular right now. And so if you join us next month, we're going to do a series on charcuterie boards so you can learn how to make your own. Thank you for joining us today for Fresh Herbs in the Kitchen.